Everyone who has a dog believes their dog loves them. You see it in the way they follow you around the house. You feel it when they curl up next to you at night. You just know it. But here is the thing. Most people cannot actually explain why they know. They just feel it and they assume it. And feeling it is beautiful, but understanding it on a deeper level changes everything about how you see your dog every single day. Today, I am going to show you 5 specific signs that your dog genuinely and deeply loves you. Not surface level stuff. Not the obvious tail wagging that everyone already knows about. I am talking about the behaviors that actually have real science behind them. The ones that when you understand what they truly mean, you will never look at your dog the same way again for the rest of your life. And the last one on this list is something almost no dog owner ever notices or thinks twice about. But once you know what it means, you are going to think about it every single time it happens, and it is going to hit you differently every time. Let's get into it. Number 5. They make eye contact with you without being asked. Most people think eye contact from a dog just means they want something. They are staring at you because they want food. They want to go outside. They want you to get up and do something. They want attention. And sometimes, honestly, that is completely true. But there is a completely different kind of eye contact that dogs give, and the vast majority of owners never stop to recognize the difference between the two. When your dog comes to you without any obvious need, no food nearby, no leash in your hand, nothing in your hand at all, no reason for them to want anything from you in that moment, and they just look at you softly and hold that gaze without looking away, that is not them asking for something. That is not them waiting for a command. That is them choosing to connect with you for no other reason than the simple fact that you are there and they want to look at you. Here is the science behind it that makes this genuinely one of the most remarkable things in the entire study of animal behavior. Researchers at Azabu University in Japan conducted a carefully designed study measuring oxytocin levels in both dogs and their owners during various types of interaction. The results were extraordinary. When dogs and their owners engaged in prolonged mutual eye contact, oxytocin levels spiked significantly in both the dog and the human simultaneously. The same bonding hormone, the same neurological response, triggered in two completely different species simply by looking into each other's eyes. To put that into real perspective, oxytocin is the hormone that is released between a mother and her newborn child during those very first moments of bonding after birth. The same biological mechanism that builds the deepest and most fundamental human attachment that exists is being activated in your dog simply by looking into your eyes across a room. Now think about where dogs came from. Wolves, the direct ancestors of domestic dogs, actively avoid prolonged direct eye contact. In wolf social structure, holding direct eye contact is a sign of aggression, a challenge, a display of dominance. It creates tension and conflict. It is something wolves do when they are asserting themselves or preparing for confrontation. The fact that domesticated dogs evolved over thousands of years to actively seek out and hold soft, loving eye contact specifically with humans is one of the most profound things about what the human and dog relationship has become. Your dog did not inherit this from their wolf ancestors. This behavior developed through the unique bond between dogs and people. It was shaped by thousands of years of living together, depending on each other, and learning to communicate across the barrier of two completely different species. When your dog looks at you with those soft, relaxed eyes, they are doing something their wild ancestors never did and could never do. They are choosing connection over instinct. They are looking at you because looking at you feels good to them in a way that is written into their biology now. The next time your dog just looks at you for no reason at all, look back. Hold it for a moment. Do not look away first. What you are experiencing in that quiet second is one of the purest and most scientifically remarkable forms of connection that exists between two different species anywhere on this earth. Number 4. They bring you things. Your dog drops a toy at your feet. Or they bring you a sock from the laundry. Or they show up with something completely random from another room and present it to you with this expression of absolute pride like they have just delivered the greatest gift in the history of the world. You laugh. You take the thing. You maybe throw it or just put it back down. And they go get it again and the whole thing repeats. Most people see this entirely as a game. And on the surface level, it absolutely is a game. But the reason your dog plays this game with you specifically, the reason they keep coming back with things to show you and give you, is something much deeper and much more meaningful than just play behavior. Dogs are pack animals at their absolute core. Everything about how they think, how they communicate, and how they express relationships goes back to pack social structure. And in a pack, sharing resources is one of the most significant and meaningful social behaviors that exists between members. Bringing food or valuable objects to another member of the group is a direct and deliberate expression of trust, closeness, and social bond. It is a behavior that says, "I feel safe enough with you to offer you something I value." It says, "You are someone worth sharing with." It says, "You are inside my circle." When your dog brings you their favorite toy specifically, the one they guard the most carefully, the one they carry around the house, the one they sleep curled around at night, that is not random selection. They went and got the thing they value most, and they brought it to you. In the social language that dogs use with each other, that gesture carries enormous weight. They are not just initiating play, they are including you in their world at the deepest level of trust they are capable of expressing through behavior. There is also an emotional vulnerability buried inside this behavior that is very easy to overlook if you do not know to look for it. Dogs that bring objects to their owners and present them with that excited, expectant energy bouncing around in front of you are dogs that have complete trust and confidence in the response they are going to receive. They have learned through experience that bringing you things results in warmth, engagement, laughter, and positive connection. That trust was built entirely by you. By every time you responded with enthusiasm instead of irritation. By every time you engaged instead of ignored. The behavior is not just about love, it is a direct reflection of the safety and warmth of the relationship you built with them over time. So the next time your dog drops a soaking wet tennis ball directly onto your laptop keyboard at the worst possible moment, take a breath and appreciate it for exactly what it is. That is love, delivered in the only physical way they know how to deliver it. Number 3, they check on you constantly throughout the day. You are working at your desk focused on something. Your dog walks in from the other room, looks at you for a few seconds, and walks back out. You are watching television. Your dog gets up from their spot across the room, walks over, sniffs your hand or your leg, and goes back to lie down. You are in the kitchen making food. Your dog appears in the doorway, confirms that you are there, and disappears back down the hallway. This pattern happens multiple times throughout every single day in households with dogs, and most owners barely notice it. When they do notice it, they usually just think their dog is being restless or looking for something to do. But this behavior has a specific name and a deeply researched meaning. Behavioral scientists call it check-in behavior, and it is one of the clearest and most consistent indicators of a strong, secure, and deeply formed attachment bond between a dog and their person. To understand what is actually happening, you need to understand the concept of secure base attachment, which was originally developed in research on human children and their caregivers. When a young child has a secure attachment to their primary caregiver, they are able to explore their environment with confidence and comfort. They go off and play, they investigate things, they engage with the world around them. But they periodically return to their caregiver to check in, to confirm that person is still there, and then they go back out and continue. The secure base is what makes confident exploration possible. Without it, the child becomes anxious and unable to engage freely with their environment. Researchers studying dog behavior found that the attachment dogs form with their primary person follows this exact same pattern with remarkable consistency. Your dog moving around the house, spending time in different rooms, lying in different spots, and then periodically coming to find you and confirm you are present before going back to what they were doing, is the secure base model playing out in real time every single day in your home. Your presence is not just comforting to your dog. It is the thing that allows them to feel settled and safe in their entire environment. When you are home and they can confirm you are there, everything is okay. The world makes sense. They can relax. What is most meaningful about this is that it is entirely voluntary and entirely internal. Nobody trained your dog to check on you. Nobody put this behavior on a reward schedule. They do it purely because of how they feel about you. It emerged entirely from the bond that built up over every single day you have spent together. Every walk, every meal, every evening on the couch, every time you showed up for them. All of it accumulated into an attachment so strong that your presence is now their foundation. You are their safe place. And they check on you throughout the day to make sure their safe place is still there. Number 2, they sleep with their body. Touching yours. Dogs are extraordinarily selective about physical contact during sleep, and most owners never fully appreciate just how significant and deliberate this choice actually is. Sleep is the most vulnerable state that any animal can be in. When a dog is asleep, they cannot defend themselves. They cannot detect threats quickly enough to respond. They cannot run. Every instinct an animal carries about survival is at its most exposed during sleep. So where a dog chooses to sleep, who they choose to sleep near, and whether they allow their body to be in contact with another living being while they sleep, none of that is casual or accidental. It is one of the most trust-dependent and instinct-driven decisions they make every single day. When your dog presses their body against yours while sleeping, their back warm against your legs, their head resting on your chest, rising and falling with your breathing, their entire side touching your side, they are choosing the most vulnerable state of their existence and placing themselves in it right next to you. They are exposing their sleeping self to your presence and trusting completely that nothing bad will come from it. That choice means their deepest and oldest instincts have evaluated you and arrived at the conclusion that you are the safest presence in their entire world. Beyond the instinct and the trust, there is also a physiological comfort dimension to this that research has now confirmed directly. Studies measuring stress hormones in dogs have shown that physical contact with their bonded person during rest periods measurably lowers cortisol levels and reduces heart rate compared to sleeping alone or near a stranger. Your physical presence does not just feel good to your dog emotionally. It actively and measurably calms their nervous system at a biological level while they sleep. You are not just someone they choose to be near at night. You are someone whose nearness literally changes what is happening inside their body for the better. And step back and think about the choice itself for a moment. Your dog could sleep anywhere in your home. They have options. They could stretch out completely alone on the cool floor with all the space they want. They could curl up on their own bed. They could take the entire couch. Every comfortable option is available to them, and they choose the spot against you. They choose the warmth and the smell and the specific presence of your body over every other available option every single night. That is not habit. That is not coincidence. That is the clearest possible expression of preference. And preference expressed consistently over time, given freely when other options exist, is one of the most honest definitions of love there is. Number 1, they lean into you. This is the one that almost nobody notices for what it actually is. It happens quietly, it lasts only a few seconds sometimes, and it looks so simple that most people experience it dozens of times without ever registering its real meaning. But once you understand what this behavior actually represents, you are going to start seeing it constantly and feeling it in a completely different way every single time. Your dog walks over while you are standing in the kitchen and just leans against your leg, or they press the side of their body into you while you are waiting somewhere together, or they sit right beside you on the couch and gradually shift their weight until they are leaning solidly into your side. It feels like they just wandered over and happened to end up touching you. It feels like nothing. Most people reach down and pet them without thinking and then go back to what they were doing. But that lean is one of the most direct, deliberate, and genuine expressions of love and deep trust in the entire range of documented dog behavior. Behavioral researchers who study canine social communication consistently identify leaning as one of the highest confidence affection signals a dog can display. Here is why. When a dog leans their body weight into you, they are physically transferring part of the responsibility of supporting them onto you. They are giving you their weight. They are not just standing near you. They are not just touching you. They are literally relying on you to help hold them up in the most physical and direct way possible. In the language of animal behavior, voluntarily transferring weight onto another individual in this way represents complete and total trust. It is vulnerability made physical. It is dependence expressed through the body. It is also a pure seeking behavior with no agenda attached to it. Dogs lean into the people they feel the deepest connection with. Not because they want something, not because they need to be fed or walked or played with, but simply because being in physical contact with you feels so fundamentally good and right to them that their body moves toward you instinctively whenever you are close enough to reach. That lean is them saying in the most honest and unfiltered way they are capable of that you are exactly where they want to be, that there is nowhere else they would rather put themselves in this moment than right here against you. What makes this behavior so pure is everything it is not. It is not trained. No one taught your dog to lean against people as a reward behavior. It is not manipulative. There is no food involved, no external motivation, no strategy behind it. It is not performed. Dogs do not calculate social impressions. The lean comes from one place only, from how your dog genuinely feels about the person they are leaning on. Behaviorists describe leaning as one of the most trustworthy affection signals in dogs precisely because it requires vulnerability, asks for nothing in return, and is initiated entirely on the dog's own terms with no prompting from the outside. The next time your dog leans into you, stop whatever you are doing for just a moment. Put your hand on them. Feel the weight of them against you, because what they are doing in that quiet moment is telling you in the most honest and unguarded way they possibly can that you are their person, that you are the one they choose out of everyone and everything in their world, that out of every place they could be, every corner they could go to, every spot in the house that is available to them, they came to you. That lean is not nothing. That lean is everything. Share this with someone who has a dog because every single dog owner in the world deserves to understand what their dog is actually saying to them every day through these small quiet moments they keep missing. Drop a comment below and tell me which one of these your dog does the most. I genuinely want to know, and I read every single comment. Like and subscribe because we have so much more coming, and every video on this channel is made for people who love their dogs the way they deserve to be loved. See you in the next one.